Ah, good evening, everyone. Superfan Dan from California, bringing you the last 2 hours of the transfer deadline day. See how that goes. It's been a pretty interesting last 12 hours. When I was turning off the lights to go to sleep last night, the news had broken that our number 14 has completed his move to Liverpool for looks like a British record fee of 125 million pounds. There's an additional 5 million in there uh, in other obligations of some sort. But there's Marcia Contreras in there. I see Liam is also backstage, but I don't see him on camera just yet, so I'll bring him on here in just a minute. Um, but yeah, a British record fee of 125 million, and then woke up this morning to the news that that deal was completed, and Johan Wissa has joined the club and has taken the number 9 shirt. So we have a new number 9. It is a it will be embodied by uh, someone we've been after pretty much all summer long. Um, I'm of two minds of this one. I am disgusted with our number 14 and our former number 14, and I'm now pleased that he is departed. I think his reputation has now been sullied, tarnished, torched as far as the Toon is concerned. The winning goal in the Carabao Cup is now has lost meaning as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, good riddance to him. Um, I'm excited to get Wissa in. I'm glad he's going to be wearing the number 9 shirt at the same time. Similar behavior, although he was still training with the squad and was just not selected for any of their opening 3 games. So I'm going to get behind him. I'm going to be excited about it when he puts on the number 9 kit and walks out on the pitch. But at the same time, behavior was similar. So that one's kind of, there's an asterisk next to his name for me. I see Liam down there. I'm going to bring Liam on. There's Liam. Why I'm good. You?
I'm not too bad, thank you.
I'm then. Oh wait, bring on our benefactor. Where is he? He was right here. I see him. Baz, you there? He's frozen. We'll see if he comes back.
Yeah.
What do you think, Liam? The news breaking last night. Well, morning for you guys, but yeah. What are your thoughts?
It took too long. Should have been
Yeah,
done much earlier than this, in my opinion.
sure.
Obviously, it's been in the works for ages. One of the guys I spoke to, he said he's had a pre-agreement for weeks with Liverpool. Obviously, it was just a club agreement we've been waiting on, and yeah, the news broke last night. So yeah, it's just a shame
Are
it
you
took that long.
are you glad to see the back of him?
I am now, yes, because I'm sick of how the transfer window was so around him.
Yeah.
If I'm totally honest, I felt the Sky Sports pushed it too much. Fabrizio Morano, he's pushed it too much. Like, it just needed to end. It was getting boring.
Too much headline for us.
Yeah.
To constantly be in the headlines. And then are you excited about Wissa? Or is that just an inevitability? We're just happy to have gotten somebody.
I am very excited to see him. Obviously in the black and white. If he can do what he did for Brentford, but with a better midfield behind him, I'm more excited for that. It's whether or not he lives up to the hype. Obviously, he's got the mags behind him now. It's a different crowd, different playing style. We need to play it to obviously his sort of best suit and his abilities, because obviously you go and sign him, and then if he's someone that's better in the air and we don't play to them suits, then it's going to bite us back.
Yeah.
But it's one of those ones we just have to wait and see. I think he'll hit the ground running. I think he'll surprise a few. My biggest surprise is that he's going to get the 9 shirt, if I'm honest.
If I'm honest, I felt the same way. I was figuring he'd wear the 19 or something like that. I didn't think he would grab the 9, but it's vacant and he's coming in as a striker. 19 non-penalty goals last season, nothing to
Yeah.
sneeze at. If we go and look at his highlights, you'll also see that he's always one of the ones, right, who's always available the second ball, for a rebound or anything like that. He'll be making those initial runs into the box. So I'm excited about it. But like I said in the intro, there's part of me that there's an asterisk next to his name, because he the means by which we got him, one, going effectively on strike like our former number 14 did, albeit training with the group and being involved in everyday operations, unlike our former number 14. And then the fee. I'm sorry, 55 million is a lot for a guy who will be 29 in 2 days' time. And a 4-year deal. We offered 35. I think if we had offered 40, that would have been fair. But I think 55 is just. I think 55 is exorbitant. But he's through the door. We got the money from the rat sale. We got that. And now what? Let's switch gears here for a minute. We've got the talk of one departure, one arrival, and now the potential of another departure. I woke up this morning not only to hear that the rat is gone and that Wissa has joined us, but now it sounds like Asula might be going to Frankfurt. I haven't seen anything said that it's completed yet. Have we heard anything that's complete?
I've not heard anything complete yet,
Okay.
but we are keen on the deal. As far as I'm aware, a few guys I speak to now have all said we're in agreement now. It's all just a case of it's if the player wants to move and it's if the
Right.
contract's right now. The club's more than happy to take a deal. Obviously Sky Sports saying it was 28.5 million. I think they reported. A lot of mixed reviews. As far as I'm aware, it's 30 million, but it's 28 up front and then add-ons on top, and then there'll be a buyback clause as well included in
Well,
that.
and when you consider that we spent what 10 or 12.5 million on him just last summer,
Yeah,
and we're basically making double our money,
yeah.
plus a buyback clause. I wonder, did we put any buyback? Did we insert a buyback clause into number 14? I doubt it. I'm sure. I'm
Hope
sure.
not.
I'm sure everybody's just like, F him. He's gone. He's
Yeah.
out of our hair. Um, I feel bad for Asula considering how close he is to Alenga. I mean, come on, big deal made of his part in getting and convincing Anthony Alenga to join the club. But at the same time, we watched him. We watched him in preseason. We watched him against Leeds on Saturday, and quite frankly, I don't think he's the finished article. And maybe sometime in the Bundesliga will will benefit him. So let's see.
Yeah, definitely.
Chris is also saying that we hope we add a sell-on clause. What?
Sell-on clause will not be an option if we put a buyout in it. Put a buyback in that deal, but they'll not take a sell-on clause with.
So, and the deal that took 14 to Liverpool, part of those fees that were also going to be added on are sell-on clauses from Sociedad,
Mm-hmm.
and I think a compounding one from Dortmund. I think
I think
there was
Sociedad's was, I don't know, it was 20% sell-on clause, but I think that's based on profit that we make.
right.
So it's
Yeah,
20% based on the profit. Obviously, it's a bit different, but it's still money we're losing because obviously we'll have to pay them whatever they're due back.
but the
Uh,
nice thing there is also that fee. So if it's 125 and you take out the sell-on clauses and the stuff that need to be completed and everything, that basically gives us about 98.5 million that we get to amortize for 5 years.
mhm.
With PSR, he signed a 6-year deal, which means we get to use up to 5 years of that money. So That means we've got basically 100 million to spend each year for the next 5 years.
Yeah,
It's Coutinho money for us,
yeah, definitely.
is what everybody's calling it. So there's Gary is
Yeah,
in the comments. Good evening, Gary. Um, what else? I also had to laugh this morning. You know, Ten Hag has been sacked after only 2 matches at Leverkusen, so
yeah.
we won't be facing Ten Hag in the Champions League unless he takes over one of the other 7 clubs, 6 clubs that we're faced with. I don't see that happening. So, I did have to laugh. I thought that was pretty funny. Um, I'm just looking at the other deals that are going on. Gahey going also to Liverpool for about the same amount of money that we started bidding with last
5
summer.
million. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm quite frankly, kind of disgusted by that one.
yeah.
Um,
It's a shocker, to be honest, but obviously, yeah, expected eventually in the end. Obviously, when a player's got a year on their contract, it's forced Palace to obviously reduce that fee and get obviously some sort of money in for the player.
yeah.
Palace are going to be shocked now though because I can't remember the guy's name. They had his replacement lined up and he's just his deal's just collapsed.
Oh no.
Yeah, so Palace will not be
Oh,
too happy with that.
there's still 2 hours left. We'll see.
Hmm.
Looks like Jackson is in fact going to Bayern Munich on loan with obligation to buy. That one
Yep.
fell apart last night and then has been resurrected. So that's good. I see Gary. I see Jag. I see Ches. Hey Ches. Leslie, of course, in the background there. Thank you, Leslie for everything, taking care of us in the comments. Um, what else? Um, Harvey Elliott is going to Villa on loan.
Be a good deal for him. Um,
Yeah,
only
with an
problem for him is
obligation to
he's
buy.
going in
Yep.
a Villa side currently that are they're looking a bit worried. If I'm
Yeah.
honest,
Yeah.
I'm worried
Agreed.
about Villa this year. If they don't get that connection in that team, I think we might see another manager sacked early doors.
Yeah, could be. Yeah. You don't think they'd keep Emery around and give him a chance?
If by Christmas he's struggling still, I don't think I can't see it
Yeah.
happening. I think they need to
That's
move on, replace, but it's who you replace them with now because obviously there's such a lack
Ten
of
Hog's
managers
available.
now. Yeah, there's Ten Hag, yeah, but I don't think he's a one for them.
I don't think
Coutinho
he's ever going to
potentially.
come back. Yeah. I don't think he'll ever come back to the Prem. To the Prem. I think his time in the Prem is done and dusted. I think he'll stick
Yeah,
around. Glasner is the next hot coach. It could be. Yeah, I could
yeah,
see him going to a Villa. He did his credentials no harm by winning both the FA Cup and the Charity Shield or the Community Shield, um, beating Liverpool in the process. Not a bad way to go. Um, what else I'm looking? I just saw another one that. Uh, so what do we know about? Is it Lamens? What do we know about Lamens? Is he the keeper that Manchester United are trying to bring in?
yeah. I've not seen anything of him if I'm totally honest.
Right.
But same with Manchester United, they're going to sign these players, and they're in such a toxic atmosphere. It's going to
Yeah.
be so hard to get them players playing in front of a crowd now because I feel the whole Man United crowd now. As soon as there's a mistake there, the player's getting grilled, and as soon as that player's getting grilled, the confidence is gone.
Yeah.
For example, look at Sesko. Sesko's went there. He's been like, look at the confidence it must give him. His manager dropped him after the second week.
Right. Yep.
Little things like that. I mean, I'll almost guarantee come the end of this season that Sesko will regret his move to Manchester United because I feel as though they'll go back through another transition where they'll sack the manager, they get a new
Yep.
one, which they'll change the play style again. They'll change the sort of the targets in the future. Um, Sesko needs to be a player they mould the team round. But the biggest problem with Manchester United is it starts from the top,
Yeah.
unfortunately, and until that changes, that club is going to be stuck.
Agreed. You think Amarin sticks around for much longer? I say he's got between 3 and 6 weeks before he's either sacked or he just said, you know what, I can't do this anymore.
I'll give him 2 games.
Okay, fair enough.
I says after the international break, we'll decide see how he gets on. I'll
Got
give
it.
him 2 games. If there's no sort of promise that he's seeing from his side after training week on week, I think he'll walk. He'll either walk or he'll have a massive fallout with the board and he'll be forced into being sacked.
Yeah. I asked a question about Lemons, the keeper that's going. Chris says he's like the Courtois clone, just not as good. Jag says he hopes that we can get another center back and a creative midfielder. I think, quite frankly, I think we're in terms of defensive additions, I think we're probably done. Now that we've got Chow and Botman proved the other night that he's obviously getting back to full fitness. So we have the possibility of Botman and Chow as a first choice center back pairing.
Yep.
Incoming, to take over for Dan Byrne and share. Obviously, Lascelles is also coming back from injury, which is good. Good to see him back in the fold. And then, of course, we've got our the possibility of Emil Kraft playing in that center back role, but I don't think he'll be needed. Lewis Hall coming back, also looking good. Obviously, Livramento able to play on both flanks. Trippier able to play on both flanks. I think in terms of defense, we're in pretty good shape. I agree that I would like to see another midfielder. Simply, so that we don't have to, with Joe Linton injured, and inevitably, he's going to be collecting cards during the season. I think Bruno also will be collecting cards, so we may see some suspensions there. I think if we're putting all of our eggs in either the Miley or Jacob Ramsey basket, we're going to be disappointed. And on top of that, there's also Joe Willock is still around, but keeping him fit is another thing. And I truly believe that I don't think he'll ever be back to his best. Not the best that we saw when he was on loan from Arsenal that convinced us to spend 25 million on it. I think he will be a good squad depth player, but I don't think he's ever going to hit the heights that he hit when we originally loaned him out. Would you agree?
Definitely. Yeah, his injuries have set him back too far. I think slipping down the pecking order as well, obviously, after bringing the likes of Tonali, it sort of took an effect on him as well. And obviously,
Oh, yep.
no one ever predicted Joe Linton to be as good as a midfielder as he is, and getting in front of him, I think it's good luck to anybody trying to get in front of Joe Linton in the minute, other than when he's obviously suspended or injured. But
Right.
hopefully, we don't see many of those. My biggest surprise is we haven't acted this deadline day for a midfielder, if I'm honest. I thought we would have tried for one. One of my main guys I speak to, he said we were looking to add a midfielder and left back today, which seems to obviously not have happened. So yeah, it's a shame that hasn't happened. But
well,
we would have got there.
Given how quickly the Voltamade deal went, and how quietly it was done, and again, I go back to seeing Jamie Rubin's face when our draw, when Barcelona was the first name to come out of the bowl as a home draw for us, seeing the look on Jamie Rubin's face, and then all of a sudden knowing that every executive in that ballroom attending the draw, all of their phones were blowing up that Nick Bolton was joining Newcastle, was a masterstroke in terms of marketing. I mean, fantastic. Just announce it during the Champions League draw and to let everybody shit themselves. I thought that was great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Given that there's just under 2 hours left, there could be some tricks up the sleeves. Let's see what happens. But we're in this until 7 p.m. GMT, so we'll be playing with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Gary's asking if Asua is going on loan or for sale. My understanding it's a sale. It's not a loan. So, but as Liam said earlier, we think that there's a buyback clause that has been inserted there. So if he has a bang up couple of seasons at Frankfurt, he'll be 23, 24 years old, still, able to do a job, and we might be able to get him back for a reasonable price. Let's see. It's Joe Spinney. If you don't know who Joe Spinney is, Joe Spinney is the owner of Dire Crow, one of our sponsors. I'm going to throw that up there just because Joe's on. Hold on, Joe. Dire Crow, your home for bespoke Toon related merchandise. Joe and his family down there in North Carolina make some great stuff. I own all three of those shirts that you see on the screen. Use code BAZ20, BAZ20 for 20% off for all of our watchers there. So thank you again to Joe and family. Let me turn that off real quick. There we go. Well, I lost Liam. Where'd Liam go? Come back, Liam. All right, well, we'll see him come back here in a minute. Meanwhile, I'll catch up on. So Joe says Isak is a paper chicken filled with baby powder. Looks like Captain America before the drugs, the legs of a Saharan ultra marathon runner. There you go. Not. Ches says he hopes Amarin stays. He's the one thing that brings true, especially when the internet gets hold of whatever he's doing in the dugout, and I've seen him knitting, I've seen him playing chess, I've seen him putting together a puzzle. Fun stuff. Ches also agrees on our views on Willock. I'm hoping that we're looking for another striker. Honestly, again, going into having lost number 14, having it looks like we're losing Asula, having just Voltamade and Vissa as our two strikers going into a Champions League campaign, plus 2 domestic cups, plus the Prem, is a concern, I think. So I'm hoping that we'll be surprised maybe in the next 90 minutes, and we might see another, even if it's just a loan. It would be great if we could get another striker in. Jules is in from work. Hi, Jules. Nice to see you. Milner scored yesterday for Brighton, so that would be great. Travel chase. Hey guys, good money if Asula goes, but what happens in January when Melissa goes to Africa? Agreed. Yeah, that's what I've been saying. Congo, is going to be one of those teams that goes far in the African Cup of Nations, which starts in mid December and can run through January, depending on how far the nations go. So I'm concerned that when Vissa goes to represent Congo, that we'll be left with Voltamade and that's it. And again, we'll still be playing Champions League football at that point in the group phase. And then we've got FA Cup and Carabao Cup matches to contend with, along with a busy Premier League calendar. So we need another striking option, especially if we're losing Asula. So I did say Zed. I did say Zed, Jez. I know if I say Z, some of that'll make sense to our American viewers, but I'm just giving it to you. You too, Joe. Thank you as always for everything you and your family do there at Dire Crow. Folks, if you have not checked out Dire Crow Shop, you got to check them out and get some really terrific NUFC merchandise there. Chris, just to reflect on something, Vissa drove 4 hours just to be in case of transfer. Yeah, I agreed. I mean, that's the rumor is that once Brentford accepted the deal or accepted the bid, Vissa got in his car and drove his ass to Newcastle. This is a guy who is determined to be at our club, and that's why I'm not upset that he grabbed the number 9 jersey. I think he knows what the number 9 jersey on Tyneside means, and he'll be looking to represent. So again, 19 goals last season, none of them penalties. none of them penalty kicks. They were all from open play. So nothing to sneeze at. This is a good striker. I'm just again for me, it's going to have an asterisk against it simply because of the 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 Downing tools aspect of it that resembles our former number 14. Though he did not train on his own, he made himself, trained with the team, made himself available. He just wasn't selected. So, all right, let's. Uh, there's Leslie. Good morning or good afternoon. Uh, no problem at all. Easy peasy. There you go. Yep. Uh, exactly. If Vissa getting in the car, driving himself from London to Newcastle to be at the training ground and ready to start moving on his medical as quickly as possible. That's determination. That's dedication. And that's something that will, like I said, regardless of my feelings that there's an asterisk next to the guy's name, as soon as he crosses that white line and takes the pitch wearing the black and white number 9, we're going to get behind him. So, uh, yeah, exactly. Okay. What else am I looking at? Manchester United target Sen Lammens is at Carrington to complete his medical. Just said Harvey Elliott has completed his loan move with obligation to buy to Aston Villa. The obligation to buy is a fee of £25 million. Eh, assuming at the end of this Prem season, so next June. Randall Kolo Muani has joined Spurs on from PSG on a season-long loan. That would have been one that I would like to have seen in a black and white shirt. Manuel Akanji is in Italy to complete a loan move to Inter Milan. We'll see where that goes. Yeah, agreed, Gary. Harvey Elliott at 25 million would be something else next summer, provided that he's given the opportunity at a Villa. As Liam was saying earlier, it's a crowded midfield there in Villa. So we'll see how that goes. I've done most of the route that they want, and trust me, really want to go to Newcastle and do it. So long. Agreed. Yep. What do you think about having anything cooking in the pot? I'd love it. Out of no. Agreed, Chris. That's what I was just saying about 10 minutes ago. I am. I'm going to answer that next question in a minute. Next comment in just a second. I'm hoping again with the speed that the Voltamade deal got done and how quietly it was done. The announcement notwithstanding during the Champions League draw, that was fun. But the fact that we were able to get a player of that quality and for a club record fee before anybody knew what was going on, should be indicative of the ability that we have to not only attract but also get deals done before anybody else is aware. So I'm hoping in the next, it's 9:30 here, almost 9:30 in the morning here in California. I'm hoping that in the next 90 minutes we might see an announcement or two of something. Chez has asked, judging by the big names we lost out on the window, are there any that you think we've dodged the bullet on? Yes. I would say Seshko is one that we potentially dodged. I'm just, I think we're all frustrated by the number of players that we were linked to, that we supposedly bid on, and that those players chose other clubs. That always hurts, especially when you genuine interest in a player, and it's a player that had indicated they'd be willing to join your club and they were excited about joining your club, and then all of a sudden choosing another club over you is always painful, kind of like dating. So, which I thankfully haven't had to do in a long, long time. But you never like to be your exclusive company is not preferred to somebody else's exclusive company. So, I think we did the best we could with what we got. I'm certainly excited about seeing Voltamade take the pitch wearing the number 27. Again, Vissa taking the pitch wearing the number 9. I am ecstatic that we got Jacob Ramsey, um, uh, Malik Chow. I know that people poo-pooed him last summer, but the fact that there were other teams involved looking to sign him, and he chose to come to Newcastle. Same thing with Voltamade. All summer was spent Bayern Munich trying to bring him in from Stuttgart, and as soon as he learned that Newcastle were interested, we were his preferred destination, and we got our man. So that was pretty good. Um, it, it, you know, it, it would be interesting if Morgan Rogers was available, but my understanding is that Villa has made it very clear that he's not for sale. So, but then again, we've seen that from other clubs for other players in this transfer window, and they've indeed moved because money talks. So let's see. Chad's more than happy with the strikers we got in. Never thought there was any more quality strikers out there. Yep, agreed. I'm going to be honest. I had read the name Voltamade. I didn't watch much of the under 21 Euros. So when when the news broke and I then looked him up, I was very impressed and very excited. Again, another 6'6" striker, a big lad. I always it's always Big Dunk Ferguson for me. When in terms of little and large striker tandems. Just the other day on my Facebook feed, the goal that the turn and volley that Dunk scored against Manchester United at St James's Park. The flick on from Shearer, which you never thought of Shearer much as a target man, so to speak. But Shearer jumping up and heading over there. Shearer was always the little of the little and large. So when he was at Blackburn, it was Shearer and Sutton, the SAS tandem. He and Les Ferdinand for that one season at St James's Park, and then of course bringing on Big Dunk. Big Dunk gets sold back to Everton, and then we get Kevin Gallagher, Craig Bellamy. So then Shearer becomes the big of the big and little. So little and large. So it's been an interesting. We've had an interesting set of striker tandems. None more so than Obafemi Martin's plowing up front by himself. Um, Cisse and Demba Ba also great. Just it's been fun stuff. Got to keep up with the comments here. Yeah, this is going to be the number 9. Um, Great business letting Asula go, especially if we're doubling our money and there's a buyback clause in there. If we bought him for, depending on what you read, we got him for either 10 million or 12.5 million or 15 million. But selling him for 28.5, rising to 30, that's good business, especially for a player that we've only had for 12 months. The only thing that saddens me about that business is the relationship that he has with Anthony Alonga, which we saw, prior to Alonga signing with us. Definitely got the idea that the two of them are really good friends, and but that's football. It's business. It's nothing personal. So, what did Blade say? Did Blade say something I missed? Hold on. No, I don't see Blade. Hold on. I'm catching up here. Paul, Vissa has joined. Yes, Paul. Yep. Vissa signed this morning. Drove himself up from Brentford. Apparently, drove the 4 hours up the M1 or the A1, M1. Correct me if I'm getting my roadways mixed up. I'm sure it's the A1. I'm pretty sure it's the A1. maybe the M1. Somebody correct me. But yeah, Vista has joined and has taken the number 9 kit. So we've got a new number 9. Gary has been loud not his name for a year. Gotta go. Yep. Great, Jez or Gary. Don't tease me. Yes, we got Visa. Let's see. There's Lee. Hi, Lee. Just response there. Okay, so I was listening to another YouTuber, Lee Lawler, over at Newcastle Fans TV this morning. I don't think anybody has ever at the club has ever said the 150 figure, the 150 million figure. That's just the value that was being attributed to a player of our former number 19 stature, or former 14's stature. Sorry. I'm not going to say his name, guys. We would not sell until our evaluation was met, and it would appear that 125, 130 was adequate enough for our owners to make the deal. So, and again, that's 125 straight. That's 125 up front. No, we're not doing payments or anything like that. That's 125 boom right now, so that we can turn around and splash that cash. We could probably still get over Kevin Martin's. Yeah, I mean, somewhere between 26 and 60. I think when we signed him, he was supposedly 21, but he looked 29. So yeah, agreed. Jim is also on. Hi, Jim. Good to see you. Roger's on. Hi, Roger. Everybody's saying hi in the comments there. Profits on Kelly and Asula equal Visa, basically. Yeah. Yeah, the Osula sale plus some monies that we've made in other fees over the last 6 to 8 months. Yeah, basically pays for Visa. I still think that we overpaid in paying for 55, but it was always going to be a figure that Brentford was going to have to be happy with. Again, we're playing the game. We thought he was worth more, 35, 40, especially since he has one solid year left on his contract. Brentford did hold another club option that where if Vissa had met a couple of other obligations or achievements during the season, that would automatically re-up that contract, so that there was the potential for Vissa to have 2 years left at Brentford. But we paid what was asked, and we got our man. So Vissa is now a Toon player. He's going to wear the number 9 kit this season. So very excited. But like again, as I've been saying all program long, that one kind of has an asterisk next to us simply because of the behavior to get the move done. While I appreciate it, I read the statement. I've read the statement multiple times. He had it in writing. His representatives had everything that was discussed with Brentford in writing. They could point at it. They could say, look, this is where you said we could go for a reasonable fee. This is what you said, blah, 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 blah. Our former number 14 had none of that. Everything was verbal, and he refused to identify who made the promises. The fact that he was unable to or unwilling to identify who the promise makers were, the alleged promise makers were, it seemed to indicate to me that there wasn't any truth in it. It was just making it up as he went along. Yeah, I would agree with that, Jim. For those of you who also missed that, Crystal Palace captain Mark Gahey, who also just scored for Palace over the weekend. Yeah, he has joined Liverpool for 35 million, the same amount that we offered last summer, that we saw rise up to, I think 55 is the highest we went. But yeah, he's with 1 year left on his Crystal Palace contract. They made the deal, and it looks like good money spent by Liverpool. They get a dependable English captain material center back to slot in there next to Virgil van Dijk. Quite frankly, could be the replacement for Van Dijk when Van Dijk leaves Liverpool. But they needed some defensive options and they got them. Let's see. So Leslie was saying supposedly 150, we got 125. Liverpool wanted 100 for Trent. They got 10 million, wanted 80 for Nunez, got 46. So yeah, we got right. Money is money. So whatever is being offered, once it's deemed acceptable, then you're going to see those deals go through. So, all right. So Paul, we're talking about that earlier with Liam, where the hope was that given the secrecy and the speed by which we got the Voltemade deal done, I'm hoping that somewhere in this next 90 minutes that a surprise may pop up. We got 1 hour and 19 minutes left in the transfer window. I'm hoping that maybe there's a surprise or two waiting for us. Roger, Rad is out, great. Vissa in, great. Asula away, result. Well, there's that. Yeah, we never said 150. That's yep. Right. There you go. There's every possibility of that. I guess footballers are fickle. Football fans are fickle. Football careers are short. They're going to want to do the best that they can do for the amount of career that they have left. The days of hometown heroes like Alan Shearer, who famously turned down Man United twice, turned down all kinds of trophies, the possibility of trophies and medals and all kinds of stuff to wear the number 9 shirt at his hometown club. That pull was too strong, and I think that's a rarity nowadays. I honestly think that again, the old adage, money talks and BS walks. That's why you see so many of the younger players jumping to join the Saudi league, because there's money involved. We're talking generational wealth there. So, yeah, thank you, Roger. The M1 turns into the A1. So I was right on both counts. I appreciate that. Thank you. So, and Chad's laughing at Leslie's. Agreed. Yep. If Vissa is the player that he was for Brentford for us, again, 19 goal contributions, none of which were penalty kicks. They were all from open play. I mean, if he can duplicate that effort in a black and white shirt and wearing the number 9, that's pretty good business. Let's see. Yeah, agreed. Yep. We'll see. Well, if my I don't ever wish ill on anybody, but the fact is, I'm hoping, I'm hoping he strains a hamstring or something, getting on and off the john or something like that. It was, I don't, the way that young man treated this club, can't be rewarded, and he will. His reputation is on Tyneside now is worse than Michael Owen's. I would argue. Michael Owen refused to play in one match, and it was a decisive match for us, obviously, and it was the Villa match that sent us down. But this guy wouldn't even train, and for me, that's unacceptable. So go from there. This yep, agreed. Steve Nixon has had a master class scouting players. And we have to give credit where credit's due. If Andy Howe was the main man, Eddie's nephew, if he was in the scouting department with Steve Nixon, if Andy Howe is the one that was able to get Voltemade over the line and convince Jamie Rubin to part with a club record fee, good on him. I'm excited to see who are, and I think they've already been named. We just haven't seen them bandied about in the press as predominantly as others have. I'm waiting for the end of today, and we'll see announcements for our director of football and for our CEO. We'll see those announcements, I would assume, pretty soon. Baz is going to be on soon. Yep. He's got the kids solo tonight, so we're going to give him some time. He'll be on a little bit. Yeah, sweet as made of glass. Thanks, Jim. Um, yeah, if we do get another player, and it will be a surprise, but Gary's saying that Craig Hope has indicated that he thinks our business in this window is done. So and yeah, no doubt about it. Liverpool have spent the greater part of 400 million pounds this this transfer window. So they are the big spenders, but of course, they also spent a British record fee on our former number 14. And the rat is over there now. That's not our problem. Rat is on Merseyside now, not Tyneside. There you go. We can speculate surprise, maybe. We'll see. Rat karma's a bitch. This is a true statement. Leslie is also Leslie. If we've got that graphic or something, I know that we sent that in the group chat. Yeah, folks, if you look at the 3 seasons that our former number 14 spent with us, he was injured for almost a full season. If you count up all the days that he was injured, so the amount of money that we've gotten for him is considerable. And again, we've seen the back of him now. He has sullied his own reputation. Let's yep. The young man wanted to win Champions League. We're in the Champions League competition too. So we'll see who's his toes turned into testicles and all his furniture turned into low coffee table. There you go. Bump on the shin at all times, and he doesn't have much shin to bump. So let's see, point in time, more interested in the lads in black and white one. Yep, exactly. Thank you, Leslie. Yep. I'm cruising through the comments. Don't want to change them. Has anyone bid on the Strawberries number 14 fame strip? Yes, if anybody's seen that, just before I went to bed last night, the Strawberry they had a signed number 14 strip, framed, hanging above the front window there. If you walked in the main door, it was in that little snug to the left. You turned around and there it was. It's now been taken off the wall and is up for anybody to buy. I will also offer. I have the Art of Football did a print of the Angel of the North, replicating the stance that our number 14 took on the advertising hoarding after scoring the winning goal in the Carabao Cup. I have a print of that. I think it's an A4 print. I have that, and I also have a T-shirt with that same design on it, and another T-shirt that has the Get Out thing, and on the back it says "Gimme, gimme, gimme a striker from Sweden." I have all of those things up for offer if anybody wants one, because I can't see putting them on again. And while I understand the sentiment, I'm not going to burn them. That's that's throwing money down the drain. I don't want to do that. If the Wissa deal isn't going to happen, this point, a loan deal job from Roma. I argue there. I don't think the Osula deal was on the table until this morning. So I think the idea was we were going to close the window with Voltamade, Vissa, and Osula as our 3 strikers. If Osula's leaving, I have to hope that we are, phones are ringing and people are trying to hound somebody down to try and see if we can get a third striker option in. Because I honestly believe if we're going into a Champions League campaign, 2 domestic cups, and the Prem, with only Voltamade and Vissa, that's that's short-sighted thinking on our part. I am desperate, hoping that we'll bring in a third striker in the next 7 minutes now. So thanks, Roger. Yep, we'll see you later. Yeah, I agree, Ches. I can't. It would be dumb. I just think it would be silly for us to do that. Um, and we'll see what happens. I would love to see a surprise come in. I've currently got Talk Sport up on YouTube. Obviously we hear over here them good. Agreed. That's another consideration, Jim. Yeah, when Vissa goes off to play for the Congo in the African Cup of Nations, he could conceivably be away for 5 to 6 weeks. We can't be relying on Nick Boldamade all by himself across 4 fronts. It's just and Sean Neve, maybe Eddie Howe thinks Sean Neve is ready for prime time. He is mobile. We've seen him running, but he hasn't gotten anywhere near scoring a goal for us. So winter window should open. I think the 1st of January. It's open for the entire month of January. So New Year's Day it'll open, and on the 31st of January it will slam shut. So I don't see us going all September, all October, all November, and all of December with just 2 strikers. I firmly believe that there will be a surprise here in the next 68 minutes. At least I've got my fingers crossed, because again, I don't think going into a campaign on 4 fronts with just 2 strikers is a wise idea. I think Asula as the third option was probably the thinking, but Frankfurt coming in and offering 30 million for Asula, basically showing a 200% profit on the investment that we made last summer on Asula, just indicates that that was business that couldn't be turned down. So I'm hoping if there was an interest in a player on loan or somebody that we can bring in relatively quickly and quietly, I would hope that business is still ahead of us. But we'll see from there. So again, just reading the ticker tape here, it looks like Nicholas Jackson is going to Bayern Munich on loan with a obligation to buy worth 70 million. So could be going. Is going to Bayern Munich. Mark Gahey is going to Liverpool also for the 35 million that we bid last summer. Jim, I don't know. I think Vissa still wants to represent Congo, so I don't think him sitting out the African Cup of Nations is a possibility. Then again, the poll for him was Champions League football, and we can offer Champions League football. So there's every possibility that he could say, screw it. I'm not going to make myself available to the Democratic Republic of Congo national team in the African Cup of Nations. It's a possibility. We'll see. Yes, Ches, I will be live until the end of the transfer window. So if you need to step away, if anybody needs to, I know it's dinner time over there in the UK. So if anybody needs to step away, feel free to come back. No hard feelings. We'll just be here chatting. So if you need anything, you know where to find me. Baz says he'll come on. I think Lauren is going to come on a little later. I think Helen might come on. I want to give one of our members, Jonathan Cousins, a shout out. Give him a big hug. Same thing with Lauren. And I think Gary might be coming on a little bit later. Gaz, not Gary V, but Gary, one of our presenters. Rex, I agree with you there. My feelings are though, while we can use Gordon as a striker, I don't think we want to use Gordon as a striker simply because we've now lost him for 3 games. Thankfully, only two left because he was suspended for the Leeds game. But when we come back from international break, he's still out for 2 games. So that it's short-sighted for us, or we're not short-sighted. We're down a man effectively, literally. So let's see. Again, January winter transfer window will open usually on the 1st of January and run through the end of the month. I agree, Paul. I think all in all, the business that we've done, especially now that the number 14 saga is now complete, and we've signed Vissa, and he was determined to join us. He got his wish. He is now a Newcastle player. He has taken the number 9 kit, so we've got a guy there. But yeah, I Jules, you're right. I would agree with Eddie Howe when Keith Downing gave him the put the question to Eddie Howe in the post game press conference the other night, saying, on a scale of 1 to 100, how satisfied will you be, or how ready are you for the transfer window to be done? Eddie responded with 101. On a scale of 1 to 100, how happy will you be when the window shuts? And he said 101. So I think Eddie is ready to kick on with the players that he has at his disposal. Again, I go back to the psychological operations, the sight games that Eddie had earlier in the week when he said that when everybody kept asking about number 14, number 14, number 14, he said, his work is to prepare the players that want to play for this club and make sure that they are ready for game day on all fronts. So I thought that was brilliant from Eddie. If we were really if we really needed some strength up front, I could see a twin tower attack of Voltamade and Dan Burn just for kicks and giggles. That would be fun. Just yes, he had to give up a £5 million payment. That's where that extra 5 comes from. Is Liverpool effectively giving us that? We didn't pay it, so Liverpool gave us 130, but it's effectively the, the money goes back to Isak. Really kid. Sorry, I said his name, number 14. I will not say his name 3 times. Yeah, I agree, Jim. As soon as the window shuts, I'm hoping that we will see the announcements for the new CEO, the announcement for the new director of football, and then yeah, I would love to see some finality to, or at least an announcement of shovels in the dirt for our expected new stadium. A show of intent from our leaders. That would be great. Yeah, agreed. I think the outgoings and the incomings have balanced each other out, and we've got money to spend. Again, for those of you who are keeping track, number 14's 125 million upfront. The funds that we got there. That means amortized over 5 years. He signed a 6-year contract at Liverpool, but we can amortize that money, our share of that money for the next 5 years. So effectively, when you remove the sell-on clause that we owed Sociedad, and I think we may have still owed a little bit, a partial part of his record fee, his then record fee. We've got effectively between 96 and 98 million pounds that we get to spend each year for the next 5 years, according to PSR regulations. So that's nothing to sneeze at. That's an extra 100 grand or 100 million that we didn't have, going into the summer. So, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, and I would love to see some announcements also of some more sponsorships, some more partnerships. I would love to see a training kit sponsor. That brings in a little bit of a coin. Maybe the naming rights on the training ground would also be good. I would also love for them to announce, the possibility of the new training facility. The state of the art training facility that will rival those that are at Leicester City and at Manchester City and those. I know that the ownership has also been looking at that for quite some time. So let's see what else. And yes, it's a lump sum payment. It was 125 million straight. So no additional add-ons or anything like that to make up the 125. So it wasn't like 110 like they offered plus, add-ons. It's 125 straight. Boom, done. That's what we're getting. And I believe the agreement is it's 125 million upfront. Boom, done. Get it all in. So, and then yes, Johan Vissa is going to be our new number 9. That's the kit that he took when he signed his contract. So we have a number 9, we have a number 27. There you go. We do not have a number 14 any longer. That guy is gone. And it sounds like we also will not get, on top of what we can already spend. That's 96 million each year that we have available, because you're able to amortize that money over the length of the player's new contract. So up to 5 years. So he signed a 6-year deal at Liverpool, but we can amortize that money for 5 years. That's the same thing that Chelsea's done when they've signed all these players and given them 8-year contracts. They're able to spend that money that they receive for player sales. They're able to do that for up to 5 years. So yes, that's 96 million on top of what monies we already have available. So PSR is just a funny beast. But now that we've sold a British record or received a British record fee for our player, we're talking about multi-million-dollar monies now for the next 5 years, just like when Liverpool sold Coutinho. That's money that I think this is the first year that they don't have that Coutinho money to spend. This hasn't stopped them yet, though. 400 million pounds is their spend. But at the same time, they've also made money. They sold Nunez to Saudi Arabia. And you have to believe that they are also receiving some kind of insurance payout for what happened to Diego Jota. And I hate saying that, but there's I'm sure that there was some insurance monies there as well. But they've also sold. I mean, they got Trent Alexander-Arnold off their books. They got 10 million for 1 month from Real Madrid, so that TAA could go to Real Madrid and be integrated into their club before they left for the Club World Championship over here in the States this summer. So Liam is back. Hold on. Liam, when I see you come on camera, I'll put you back on stage. Right. Yeah, I would love to see some more figures that aren't affected by PSR. Chris, it's great at 5th place and 6th place. Let's assign all these players in Villa's forward. I agreed. Yeah, and Villa's selling players that they didn't want to send. I'm just like us selling Elliot Anderson last summer. I can guarantee you, Unai Emery did not want to see the back of Jacob Ramsey. But unfortunately, you know, PSR is PSR, and they needed to sell so that they could stay right. I think it was also mentioned earlier. I think we screwed up. We didn't insert a buyback clause in Elliot Anderson's deal when he went to Nottingham Forest. So now that he's, you know, picked up and is developing as a hell of a player over there at the City Ground, we have no means of reaching out and getting right of first refusal to try and get him back. That's sad. Yeah, agreed. The 150 figure that was being bandied about, that was, no one at Newcastle ever spoke the figure 150. That was one person who said that's what he was worth, and basically the rest of the sporting world ran with that. I figured it was always going to be somewhere between 125 and 135 was probably what we're getting. I think we were shooting for 130, and it sounds like we got the 130. We got a payment of 125, and then that extra 5 million, either Liverpool paid it in order for number 14 to get it because it's a signing on fee or whatever. We didn't pay it. That's all. I agreed. Samu is one that we've been talking about. Shoot, don't ask me to pronounce his new last name. I know he's a Spanish international, but he has a new African surname that he's taken in the last 12 to 18 months. But I don't know how to pronounce it. Agawagahuni, I think it's got a G, an H, a W, and a B in there, and some vowels. So, yeah, and I'm not making light of it. I don't have it in front of me. I can't. I do not know how to spell it or how to spell it or say it. But yeah, I would love to see at 21 years old. I think he scored 19 goals in 33 appearances last season. So Samu would definitely be one that would benefit us. He's a unit again. I think he's 6'4", over 200 pounds. He's a big guy, stockier than Voltamade, so to speak. So, but you know, nothing to sneeze at. And it, being 21 years old, his development can only go up as far as I'm concerned. So the possibility of seeing Samu and Voltamade as our strike force, that's something else. Yeah, Gary V. Hope to see you later. Take it easy. Thanks for coming on. There is a certain amount of karmic justice there, Chris, watching Man U just, you know, disintegrate. You know, and if you haven't heard, I said it earlier in the show, Eric Ten Hag has been sacked by Leverkusen this morning after only 2 matches. So there's another guy whose reputation did not improve when he joined Man United and then left Man United. You know, his next job was Leverkusen. He's already been sacked. So thanks again, Gary. Liam, you there? I'm sure he'll come join us. So again, Randall Kola Mwani is going to Spurs on loan. Doesn't mention anything about an obligation to buy. It just says that he'll be going on loan from PSG to Spurs. Looks like Nicholas Jackson is going to Bayern Munich. That deal was looked on the rocks last night, but it got it gained traction again today. He is going to Bayern Munich on loan with an obligation to buy for a deal worth up to 70 million. And here comes Baz. Hey, there's Baz.
Still trying to sort kids out.
No, you're good. You're all right. And if you have to drop or if you have to go off camera for a bit, that's okay. We got plenty to talk about. We're got lots of discussion in the comments, so that's been good. I've just been reiterating some of the deals that have been going on so far in the last few hours here. We've seen Kolo Muani going to Spurs from PSG on loan. We've seen Nicholas Jackson go to Bayern Munich on loan. That one with an obligation to buy. The Muani deal does not include that obligation. We've seen Harvey Elliott go from Liverpool to Aston Villa on loan with an obligation to buy for 25 million. It sounds like Man United are going to get a new goalkeeper.
Yeah, Martinez.
No,
No, I thought he was off to
no,
Man United.
no. This one's name is Lamens, Sen Lamens, Lammens. And I'm just waiting for it to come back around to tell us who it is. So Julio Enciso has left Brighton, is going to Strasbourg for 10 million. Tariq Lamptey is leaving Brighton and going to Fiorentina for 6 million.
Yeah, that one shocked me a little bit.
Victor Lindelof is joining Aston Villa on a free.
I feel sorry for Villa.
Yeah, that was being discussed in the crowd here. So Rex says I think number 14 won't be as good as Liverpool. Think he can never last more than 65 minutes, and he won't get the service like he did for Murphy. And Ekatike is not going to be happy being pushed out wide left. I think he was excited about the possibility of playing up front. So Mark Gahey looks to be
Liverpool, yeah,
finalizing his deal to Liverpool for 35 million. And I'm watching Talk Sport because I couldn't get anything from Sky Sports. I'm on YouTube, just watching it on TV as I go. I'm seeing Danny Murphy's fat ugly head. Spouting, I'm sure, something venomous about Newcastle. So, that was a guy I always wanted to see in a black and white strip, and never happened. And he's just I thought when he was at Liverpool, I thought he wasn't getting the minutes that he needed. I was disappointed when he went to Fulham. So I was always excited about the fact that he might come. So Leslie says, good to see you, Liam.
Thanks.
Travis Hernandez is going on loan from R21s. Paul Robinson says that number 14 is dead to him. So we can just not worry about it. We still have a good Swede. The other was rotten to the core, but overall I'd give us an A for this window when you look at our
Swedes.
overall business. We've got two when you consider craft as well. Yeah, when you look at it, we've got two Swedes, we've got two Brazilians, we've got what was the other nationality?
Italian stallion.
We have one. I know we have one Italian. We have one German. What else? Slew of Englishmen.
Got everything all over the place. Where's Chow from?
German as well. So we have two Germans.
Two Germans.
Yep. So sorry, Liam, you've been patiently waiting. I haven't shut up, so I'll just.
I know you're all good.
Two Germans. That's right, Chris. Yep. Malik Chow and Voltamade. And within a year, they're a year in age, 23 and 24. So that's exciting stuff for us. All in all, I think our business this window has been good. Especially if we are in fact selling Asula for 28.5 million, with a buyback clause, that's not a bad deal. That's 200% profit.
That was a huge shock.
Welcome. It's just changed. Apparently in loan to buy now. Which is
I saw someone tweet that, and I just don't believe that.
Well, I don't believe it, but I also think because of how I don't know what time the German window shuts, but based on if the German window shuts roughly the same time as the UK,
it's exact same time.
Yeah, then we've got a problem because getting a loan over the table is much quicker than it is to get a permanent deal over the table. So that might be why that's getting pushed towards the loan.
Well, that would be 8 p.m. That's going to be 8 p.m. their time, Baz.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they agreed that the German, French, Spanish, English, all the leagues shut at 7 p.m. alongside each other.
Yeah. That's right.
So whether that's an hour ahead or an hour behind, it's 7
Right, got it.
p.m.
Yeah.
in line with all the leagues. The only league that isn't involved in it is Scotland. They shut at 11.
Ah, interesting. Well,
No
so
one, no one wants to go to Scotland, though. Let's face it.
what Chris is asking, would we want to let Conor Gallagher move? I would love to see Conor Gallagher, but
January.
I don't see it happening. Here's my thing, and this is the thing that concerned me. When I went to bed last night, the deal that the Rat had signed was already being bandied about. Waking up this morning, that deal being confirmed, finished, or concluded, completed, that one, and then the Vista deal also being concluded was great. The Asula one came out of nowhere. I think, as in terms of our business, our business was going to be that Asula was going to be, our third choice striker. Now that he's leaving the club, my hopes are that sometime in the next 44 minutes, 43 minutes, that we see something coming, because I think going into a Champions League campaign, 2 domestic cups, and the Prem with only 2 strikers, one of whom will be missing for 5 to 6 weeks in the winter, is a bit risky.
Well, let's face it, we've been here before. We've done it before, and we'll do it again.
I don't like it. I just don't.
I don't like it, but we've got to suck it up, because that's what will happen. Gordon will play as an emergency striker.
If he can stay on the pitch.
He will. He will learn from his lessons.
We thought that going into the Carabao Cup final too. Apparently, it didn't matter.
True.
He's now served a six match ban in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
But he's missed far fewer games than our former number 14. Our number 14 was here for 3 full seasons, and he spent nearly a full season injured. So, it's nothing to sneeze at. So
I love it if his groin pops when he makes it to Liverpool. It was so funny.
Someone in the Toon USA channel, the WhatsApp channel, said, I hope he shits himself and tears his ACL. I said, or the reverse. I hope he tears his ACL shitting himself. So I said, Wilson always pulled a hamstring each time he got on the toilet. So, I'm all right. I suspect, Rex, that this is in fact going to be the case. I think we will see Sean Neave a lot more during the domestic cups. I think we will see a lot of Sean Neave during the Carabao Cup. And I think we will probably see him come off the bench in the FA Cup. We'll definitely see him on the bench a lot during the Prem. I don't know how much we'll see him as a Champions League option off the bench. Do we still get nine substitutes do we still get to name 9 substitutes on the bench for Champions League games, or only 7? You still get to use 5, but are you only allowed to name 7 for the Champions League?
Not sure.
I don't either.
For Champions League.
7?
Yeah, I think so for Champions League, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised about Neve, though, because I thought he would have been away out on loan, because last I heard he was getting a loan move to Portsmouth, but...
Well, Liam, if we had 3 strikers, I think he would have. But the fact that we're either loaning or selling Asula, we need every striker we can get. So, sorry, I have to...
Well, a bit of news for you, anyway, because I thought I'd keep this until, obviously, I was waiting for Baz to jump on. The one that shocked me, news-wise, when I said bigger number 9, a person we tried to call, as far as the guy that I speak to was fully aware of, was we tried to ring Lautaro Martinez's agent, who completely ignored the phone to her. But was someone we tried to approach, and obviously, agent didn't pick up the phone, but he would have been a statement saying, and let's say, if he wanted to make the move. And number 9 as well. He'd been fantastic. But even him to look at, obviously, you've got the likes of Samu Erodion, I think it's pronounced, from Porto. Obviously, he got an injury. We're interested in him. I wouldn't be surprised if we went back in January for him. He's one I think will be always on the cards for us. One thing I did get told was Scalvini's not over. As much as he said he wanted to stay in Italy this summer, January, early summer of 2026 is what I've been told to keep an eye on for Scalvini. The monitoring Botman is the biggest problem they've got now. They're trying to take it very easy with Botman. If he pulls another injury, Scalvini will be priority come January transfer window for us. A big one as well. Obviously, he's been linked with multiple times. Conor Gallagher, it has been said Atletico Madrid's not going to let him go. He is also one to watch for a loan with an obligation to buy in January, if not permanent.
I don't want him.
I'm not turned on him. I don't think he would fit with system, and I don't think he's the type of player forward. But
the only way he fits the system is if we change our formation.
Yeah, which is not going to happen. I don't think. I think this whole talk of two strikers is also another thing that I don't think is going to happen. I think if we had got another striker through the door to have 4 potential strikers, and fair enough, yes, we could see the formation changing, but I do not see us playing 2 strikers. I just don't see it. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see the big man, little man.
It depends on the opposition and where we're at. If we're at St James's Park and we're playing against a low block, we will throw everyone on.
So here's the thing, and a lot of talk has been said the last couple of days since the Voltamade's signing was confirmed. He's not your typical number 9. He's not a striker. He's more of a 10 because of his close control, because of his ball handling skills, because of his creative capabilities. He is. Hold on a sec. They're unmuted, Baz. Chris is asking if it would be a 4-2-3-1. Possible. I could see Tonali and Bruno, playing as a double pivot in the CDM, and then we could see Gordon wide left, Alanga wide right, Voldemade as the false 9 or in the 10, and then Vissa up front. Again, it goes back to we're going to lose Vissa for 5 to 6 weeks, and yes, Gordon can also play as a 10.
He could, yeah.
I just my feelings. I'm still a little bent with Mr. Gordon, given his predilection for getting sent off. I muted you, Bass. Chris asked if
dare you
Scalvini
mute me while I've got my little girl talking to me.
He's both feet.
Yes, Scalvini is both feet. Isn't Chow also both footed? I mean, he is predominantly right footed, but he has played left center back as well.
Yeah. Scalvini's primarily right, but he's solid on his left as well.
Yep. Vissa on the left and Gordon up front. Possible if Voldemade's not available.
See, what people forget is Wissa can play across the front 3.
Yes. So
Gordon can play across the front 3. Alanga can play across the front 3. Voldemade can play a 9 or a 10. We are rich with different options, which puts us in a great position when we're talking about tactics. But to be honest with you, I would have sold him if we had the option.
Yeah.
Shows is asking about Scalvini. Liam, go ahead and repeat what you said about Scalvini.
Looking at sort of January, maybe summer of 2026. All depends on Botman for January, though.
I mean, we're not going to take any risks with Botman because we don't need to, because we've got enough defenders now to cover. So, precaution taking him off because of his potential little injury that he got against Leeds. But I think that was just 70 minutes, take him off, change the tactics. We went back to 4-3-3 to try and change the game, and we've just been sensible with him, weren't we? So, yeah.
Any thoughts there on Chris's comment about is Ramsdale the alleged goalkeeper solution.
But he is for this season, isn't he? Long
Okay, but
term, no
it's not a
idea.
loan. But Ramsdale's is just a straight loan. It's not a loan to buy.
It is. Yeah, so it's short term. Again, if he impresses and Southampton don't get back into the Premier League, then I can imagine they'll look to sell him if we think he's performed well enough. But I don't know who the long term goalkeeper situation would be because I don't even know who we're looking at.
And Eddie Howe loves his Englishmen as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
he does. Yeah.
You can't even look at abroad keepers when it comes to Eddie Howe being a manager. I just don't think you'll sign a keeper that's abroad. I don't think it fits his
but I
structure.
mean, and he knows Ramsdale. He signed Ramsdale, so that's a known quantity for him, and he knows how good he is, and he knows that he was. I think he was hard done by Arsenal. He was brought in, and then they brought Raya in.
Yep.
He got moved to Southampton, and let's be honest, he had a leaky defense in front of him.
Yeah.
That didn't do him any favors. I heard that Trafford was supposedly possibility of him going on loan because
They're signing
they were
the Paris Saint-Germain keeper, aren't they?
Doomba Roomba.
Yeah.
Chumbawamba? Doomba Roomba? What's the guy's? Doomba Roomba. Yep.
I think his ship sailed as well. I don't think you'll see us go back for Trafford.
I don't either.
Not now.
I think he played too hardball, him and his agent, when it come to us trying to approach him.
And for me, that's kind of like the Ekitike thing. We've gone in for him multiple times. He chose to go back to Man City. I think that's a done deal one. We don't mess with it again.
I don't think he had a choice, did he? When City matched it, they already had an agreement that he would go back there with wages. Everything was already done for him. All he had to do was sign the dotted line. It was all in the agreement. So it was a shitter because if we'd actually paid what they wanted 6 weeks earlier, Man City weren't looking for a goalkeeper and they wouldn't challenged us and we would have had Trafford.
Yep.
Donnarumma, that's how you pronounce it.
And Jules
Two
is
more
right.
things as well, though.
Go ahead.
I think we sort of forget as well, like obviously the start of the window with how sort of the structure was. We had our targets in mind, but obviously we had a situation of where whoever was dealing with transfer targets, that sort of ship had switched and someone else took over. As far as I was aware, obviously people I speak to as well, they've said obviously it got shifted to Steve Nixon, who's obviously the chief scout. He worked alongside a Jamie Rubin, who was acting like an Amanda Stavely sort of thing with transfers, like what she did back in the day. But even the guy that I get a lot of my information from, he told me obviously that basically come from a senior board official as well, that we were just winging things this transfer window at the start of things, and that's why we didn't get things across the line, because it had to go up a ladder of asking one person, okay, are we going in for this person, getting it from Howe to the PIF. But to get to the PIF, it had to go through all the board of directors, and that's why things were so slow and so clustered. They just needed the goal man, which should have been at the time Jamie Rubin, but Jamie Rubin wasn't dealing with it at the time, and obviously they got fed up. And PIF apparently they've stepped in and said, look, you need to sort this. And obviously, fingers crossed, come when the new director of football comes in, we've got a structure come January if we need recruitments. We're there and we're quite hot on things.
And I think that'll come to play in the next 24, 48 hours after the window shuts. I think we'll start seeing some announcements there. I think there are people who are they talking to Harvey Elliott on Sky Sports? That's not Harvey Elliott. Someone with the same unfortunate haircut, but
brilliant.
But yeah, the pseudo mullet, whatever that is. I see Michael Dawson's on, as is, oh God, who's that guy? I know who that guy is. Anyway, I switched over from Talk Sport to Sky Sports to see if we can see if something else.
I think our business is done. It's a shame because I was hoping for one more, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. It would be nice to get another midfielder in, but I guess what they're looking at is the Voltemeda situation, is he can drop and be that creative midfielder, which everyone's cried out for. So he could do that job while Wissa's up front. I think Wissa's going to be our new Andy Cole. I really do. I think he's going to bang them in this season. He's a fox in the box. I've watched a lot of his goals, again, on repeat, and they're all like, the keeper parries it, he's there. If there's a mistake, he's there. He's very much, do my head in this. I'm on my phone, you see. He's very much someone who relies on mistakes. He relies on service, but he's there. He's always there. He's always looking to capitalise on something, which is, if you watch our last 3 games, it's what we didn't have. So if we had him for the Villa game and we had him for the Leeds game, I have no doubt in my mind we would have won both those games.
The New York Times /Athletic is reporting that Man City is going to complete the deal for Donnarumma, and now Ederson is leaving to join Fenerbahce.
Yeah, that was always on the cards, wasn't it? Even with, it was Mourinho there and got sacked.
Yes.
Fenerbahce, yes.
Yes.
So and even with him being sacked, he's still gone there.
Mm-hmm.
And Ten Hag got sacked by Leverkusen this morning.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. Did you hear about it? Do you know why? So he lost his first 2 games, didn't he? But then they had a behind closed doors game against the under-21s, and they got beat 5-1.
By their own under-21s?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Oh goodness.
So that's the reason why he's got sacked.
To top it off, if he's a top-class manager, I'll have the under-21s trained to his tactic as well, which means he's been beat by his own tactic by the under-21s team as well.
Yep.
Which would just top it off. Amazing.
Mental. Absolutely mental. But how is he still getting jobs? I don't know. Football's funny, innit? You can get sacked from a club for doing a shit job, and then 2 weeks later, you've just signed another £5 million contract for 5 years to manage another club.
Well, I think that's where Mourinho's going to end up.
Do you think so, at Leverkusen?
I think Mourinho's going to end up with Leverkusen, yeah.
Well, that'd be
he'll either end up with Leverkusen or he'll be a Villa manager. It'll be one of those two.
Are we home or away to Leverkusen?
We are away.
Oh, no, we're away. No, we're away, yeah.
Yep, we're at the Bay.
So everyone's devastated about it.
Yeah, everyone's like, that's an easy win choked off the cards, isn't it?
Yeah. I liked that stadium. Like I said, I was there in 2003, the last time we played there. I liked that stadium a lot. It was a neat place to go.
I mean, Ten Hag's obviously suited to the Dutch league, isn't he?
He's been living off that Ajax season.
Yeah.
Yep. Hi, Lauren. Lauren's in the chat as well, so she's watching from afar.
I don't think we're done in regards to outgoings, though. I think we'll see a few loans go out, maybe.
They're still working on some under 21s, aren't they?
Yeah, whether or not Asula makes his move or not, we'll see. But I think that's a very close call with the remaining time in the window. If it's a loan, it'll be quick. If it's not a loan, then it's a permanent buy. It's going to be very, very close getting that deal sheet done.
All right, who are we seeing?
They get an extra hour, don't they, when it closes at 7 or something to complete a deal?
As long as the deal sheet's completed beforehand. And if it's not, you know how long it takes Newcastle to do things. You'd be surprised that deal sheet's signed in time. Even Isak. I'd be surprised if Isak actually makes his full-on move. Because it's still yet to see that announced. So I wouldn't be surprised if that fell through.
Apparently, he's been living in his car outside in the training ground. He wanted to be there so badly. So there was reports that he was staying in a hotel 15 miles away.
Yeah, he was
in Lancashire.
I think that.
I hope he has the worst season of his career.
It's been done for a while, that deal. It's just always getting Newcastle to sign off on the official figure. A bit like Wissa. Wissa's always said he wanted to move to. I mean, he drove up to Newcastle last night.
That's what we heard.
So he was ready for his medical this morning. And as much I don't like what Wissa's done, it is very different to Isak because he had it in writing. He had it in writing that he said that Brentford said, if a certain deal comes in for you, we will allow you to leave. And we put in that offer a few times and they kept rejecting it, which is ridiculous. And it's a shame it's had to go this far for Wissa to get the move that he deserved.
Do you
I
think
still
we
don't.
Do you
Go
think
on.
we overpaid for him, guys?
Yes,
I do too.
but needs must. If Asula goes, it's only 25 million for Wissa. And then what you got to think about as well is if he scores the amount of goals that he scored last season, again this season, he's paying off that fee tenfold.
Yeah.
Because
Yep,
the
agreed.
amount of money we'll get back from the Premier League position, we could end up getting Champions League qualification again. That all goes towards that fee. It's a bit like the Gea situation with Palace. Palace didn't want to sell them last summer for 70 million. They lost out on 35 million. But did they really lose out on 35 million? Because they went on to win the FA Cup. They're in Europe. So they've lost out on 35 million because they've sold them for 35 million this summer. And they probably earned more to keeping them because they finished higher in the league than they would have if they'd sold them when they were going to sell them, and they wouldn't have won the FA Cup. So sometimes keeping the player is also better than selling the player, especially the way he's conducted himself. I mean, he put in a fantastic performance last night.
Sorry to jump on it, but they may have lost more based on if he had bonuses in his contract for them winning the cup, based on his appearance fees and everything that on top, they could have lost a lot more, which is the problem. If they've also stuck in with that deal as well and gave him his loyalty bonus, it's another thing to factor in. He's been there many years.
Yeah, but think about it though. You've won your first trophy in the history of the club because you kept your captain. Yeah. You know, I know what the fans would rather have.
Yeah, definitely.
Denny's in the comments. Good evening, Denny. Good to see you, sir.
Hey, Denny. Denny, we're always live. We're live at 8 o'clock again as well. We're going to
quick, Liam. Ask Denny any prem game involving Newcastle since the inception of the Premier League, and Denny will give you the score or tell you who the score is for.
Oh God.
Google one for the fun of it. Go and find one and then ask him a question.
Okay, that's. Can we get him on the show so we know he's not Googling at the same time?
He's not. You don't have to worry about him. He's not Googling. All right, who are we seeing? Somebody walking in the front door of some club and getting into a van. But I don't know where.
There's a lot of hostage videos being made on deadline day, isn't there?
Well, this young man, good looking kid, but he's surrounded by kids. Right. Sancho. Is Sancho leaving somewhere?
Man United to Villa. That's Sancho. Okay. Jadon Sancho?
Yeah, Jadon Sancho. Somebody's standing out in front of someone's standing out in front of Villa and talking that. So
he's got a loan move. Hoyland
just joined Napoli. Yep.
Do you know what it is? I might have took a punt on him.
On Hoyland.
Got one.
Yeah. Go on, Liam.
So Newcastle versus Fiorentina, 1973.
Oh, it's got to be Premier League, mate.
It's got to be Premier League.
Oh, Premier League.
Yeah.
Oh.
Any Premier League result in the Premier League era. You'll probably know the answer to that anyway. Was that in the UEFA Cup or the Champions League?
The Angolo Italian Cup final.
Jadon Sancho to Villa. That's a big deal.
It's a loan. I think it's an obligation to buy, and I think they're paying a lot of his wages as well, but I don't know if they're paying all of them. He's on 300 grand a week or something stupid like that. You don't want to stand outside us until for too long, trust me.
The Sky Sports reporter who's standing out in front of the whole thing looks like he could handle himself. So,
no dildos in the background today.
It's funny though because everything behind him is blurred out. So, but you could just you squint your eyes, you can see Villa on the side. So yeah.
I'll tell you what, I do miss the days of like transfer window with Harry Redknapp hanging out of a car window giving an interview and players driving down to grounds and then not getting the move that we're expecting and they're left there wondering what's gone on. You know, That guy who threw the dildo, put the dildo in that guy's ear, ruined it for everyone because there was no more of that after it. Why is that not just staying up? I think it's something to do with the wire. Nightmare. But yeah, deadline day got ruined, and then PSR even ruined it even further, didn't it?
Yeah.
Does the Football League count? Or does it have to be the Premier League?
It has to be the Premier.
League.
He has
Can't be the
memorized
1970.
all of those. No.
He's memorized every single Premier League result.
Let's have a look. It's harder to even find this than I thought it was going to be.
Gordon Wingy, that's the one. Trust Daddy to remember that.
If it was a Premier League move,
Yeah. It would have been, wouldn't it? It was it West Brom to Queen's Park?
West Brom. Yeah.
God, my memory's not as bad as I thought it was.
Oh, it's me. I'm sorry.
You've had a hell of a situation.
Yeah, well, that phone call came at 10 after 6 this morning.
Oof.
I was not ready for that, and on top of that, I went to bed at I think 1:30 because I was following the number 14 deal. I was trying to see how much we were getting, all that kind of stuff. So I had a night of fitful sleep. I was waking up every 30, 45 minutes. So for that phone call to come at 6:15, having only been in bed since 1:30, it was a short night, and I'm already knackered.
Still got a lot to do as well.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking forward to doing the Outlook show.
Someone is walking up. Somebody in Entourage is walking up the stairs at Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest. They
I
have
don't know
signed
who they got
someone.
in.
I can't remember, but they have signed someone.
So Ten Hag has made a statement upon his
Oh, go on, please.
sacking. I don't know. Chris says I'll go find
Ten
it.
Hag's statement is hilarious.
I will go look for it. I will find it.
There's another Gavi Julian, I think he's called, from Atletico Madrid. Is it not him?
Yeah,
Same for Forest.
Yeah. I tell you what, I wouldn't have mind trying to go for their striker who was out of favour. I can't remember his name now. He scored a hatful of goals. No, for Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid. The striker. The one that's out of favour. I'm sure he scored something like 20-odd goals last season for them. And apparently they were willing to do a deal. He's 29.
It's not Julian Alvarez. It's definitely not him.
No, it's not him.
Sloth.
Alexander
Sloth.
That's him. I mean, they've got three strikers.
Good player.
Quality strikers as well. I would have liked to have seen us potentially go for him. It would have been nice to have three strikers. I thought Strand Larson would still potentially happen, but
I thought so too. I was hoping for that one.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, gentlemen, I'm going to have to jump off because I'm on tea duties, but thanks for having us on.
Thanks, Liam.
Thanks for coming on.
Hopefully a good rest of the season.
Indeed.
It should be. It should be.
Definitely. All right, speak to you later.
Right,
see ya.
Laters, man. Ta-da. You found the statement yet? Chris,
no,
I can't. Chris, I'm doing this on my phone, so I can't check Twitter, I'm afraid.
I'm looking. All right. Okay, I will go look at Twitter. I Googled it, but
I think he's sent me a direct message. If he has, I can't see it.
Okay, I'm looking. Oh, they send it to you? You send it to me?
I think he sent it to me. Unfortunately, if I go to Twitter, it'll kick me out of the show.
Right. No, understood. All right, hold on.
See him all right. I want to see this. I want to hear the statement. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Weniono. Yeah, Soloff was the Atletico Madrid striker I wouldn't have mind of seeing.
Oh.
And apparently they were willing to do a deal. I'm surprised nobody jumped all over it. Unless his attitude.
So according to Liam, the Frankfurt deal for Asula is a €5 million loan fee with an option to buy around 20 million euro.
Yeah, that's what I saw that myself before I came on, and that's nothing to what was being put out there. So I'm unsure what's happening with that deal now. But I mean, I was excited when I heard we were getting close to 30 million for him because we only paid 10.
Right.
And he's only scored, what, 2 goals?
Right.
He needs regular football, the guy, and he's not going to get it at Newcastle. He is literally there to throw on when we're desperate. So,
okay, I have it. You ready?
Come on.
The decision by Bayer Leverkusen's management this morning to put me on a leave of absence came as a complete surprise. To part ways with a coach after just 2 league games is unprecedented. This summer, many key players who were part of past successes left the squad. Building a new cohesive team is a careful process that requires both time and trust. A new coach deserves the space to implement his vision, set the standards, shape the squad, and leave his mark on the style of play. I started this job with full conviction and energy, but unfortunately the management was not willing to grant me the time and trust I needed, which I deeply regret. I feel this is never a relationship based on mutual trust. Throughout my career, every season I have been able to see through to the end as a coach has brought success.
Bollocks.
Clubs that place their trust in me have been rewarded with success and silverware. Finally, I would like to thank the Bayer Leverkusen supporters for their warmth and passion, and I wish the squad and staff every success for the remainder of the season.
To be fair, he did win the FA Cup, didn't he? But again, I mean, that's a weird statement to put out there to say that the board never have to trust after 2 games. I mean,
and it was wasn't their own under 21s. It was the Flamengo under 20s.
Oh, right, there we are then.
5-1. Well,
I knew it was someone who beat them very, very badly. Yeah, I can't pronounce his name, Denny. He was linked to oh yeah, from Roma on loan we were.
Yeah.
Can't pronounce his name either.
Yes, Chris, that was a funny statement. That was.
It's ridiculous because I mean, you're talking about 2 games into a season.
Yes.
And how can you lose the trust of the board that quickly?
Just being this poor.
I haven't seen the first 2 games. I don't know how they did. But it seems weird to have a friendly after 2 games, doesn't it?
Well, it was apparently before the season started. His first game in charge was that friendly.
Oh, right. Oh, Jesus. He won the League Cup as well. Yeah, you're right, Danny, against us. Of course he did. So he did win 2 trophies. I mean, that's not bad considering how bad Man United were. Long live Ten Hag.
Yeah. Here.
Jesus. That is bad. Wow. I don't know what to say to that. Well, I mean, Liverpool were winning 2-0, weren't they? And they nearly drew. It does happen in football, doesn't it? But, yeah, frustrating. You've got to feel sorry for him a little bit. Just need to go back to Holland and you'll be all right. Get a job at Ajax again. Rebuild his reputation.
The fact that he jumped to go to Man United, kind of. All right, so
a lot of clubs do, though. I mean, a lot of managers do, don't they, when they get a chance to go to a bigger club? But there's no loyalty in football, not even managers. Apart from Eddie Howe, of course.
Gary Neville says that number 14's move to Liverpool is incredible. But it's not incredible.
In what way is it incredible?
Real Betis has completed their move for Man United's Anthony.
Yeah, Anthony. Apparently, he's took a pay cut as well. It's what you want to hear, innit? Players who are about bigger clubs who have got massive wages going to smaller clubs and taking pay cuts to make sure they can play football.
Right.
I like that. I would have thought we would have been all over the Harvey Elliott deal, to be fair, when we found out it was 35 million.
25 million.
I thought
That's
it
the
was.
thing that hurts.
I thought it was 35. A loan fee in 35.
Okay. It says what TalkSport was saying earlier was it's a loan to buy with the obligation of 25 million.
Oh,
So
wow.
if it's a 10 million loan fee, I doubt they paid that much. Liverpool broke the transferred record twice in one window. That's
they
true.
did, yeah. Makes you wonder where they're getting the money from. That Coutinho money sure did spread.
Did. How long do you think Man United will have the bigger club pull for and still fail to reach European spots? All right, we're less than 10 minutes left in the window, folks.
Yeah, nothing else is happening.
Do you want to end the stream at 7 your time,
Yes.
and then we'll start the 8?
Yeah, I need the hour in between kids'
Okay.
bedtimes and eat some food.
Oh, sorry, we're not starting right at 7. We're starting at 8. Okay, got it.
Yeah, 8 o'clock. Yeah, I've got an hour in between.
Sorry. Yep.
Season.
This is the poster board for Man United Bull. Well, and don't forget Mbumo.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
Kinder Bueno.
What?
Kinder Bueno.
Okay. I'm going by the name from his mouth. Okay, Keith Downey is on TV.
Kinder Bueno. That's what it's called now.
All right, hold on a second. I'll be back.
Clearly loves his chocolate too much. Oh, man. Oh. It's not very good doing this on your phone, I'm telling you. Keith Downey must have something important to say, hopefully. It'll be about Asula. And Newcastle in the last 5 minutes have struck a deal with Ronaldo. Cheers, Chris. Let's see if this works. Yay! See you at 8 o'clock. Yeah, I think it did. You take as long as you want, Dan. I just think it'll read these. Don't worry, Dan. It's the same name as a chocolate bar, exactly. And it's Bruno's favorite chocolate bar as well.
There's a bed sheet right outside the parking garage that says Isak is a rat, Vissa is a Geordie, Toon. Keith Downey is announcing that the club will confirm that the medical has been completed and all that stuff, but they have not yet announced officially the Vissa signing. And he said that this could be one of those things where it could be announced right after the window is closed or tomorrow morning. You know, as people
know what they're like. 10 o'clock tonight.
It takes time to get all the paperwork signed and everything. They've already done all that stuff. It's just getting all the I's dotted, all the T's crossed. He's just warning, saying that the deal is done. We just haven't seen it officially announced yet.
Yeah, of course. They'll do it at 10 o'clock when they've done the hostage video. 10 o'clock tonight, or 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, or 10 o'clock tomorrow night, there'll be a hostage video done and we'll know Wissa is signed.
I don't know this presenter on Sky Sports.
I'm not watching it. Hey guys,
whoever this young man is, you know, that's quite the jacket, my friend. It's not playing well with the camera. It's a tweed, but it's a tweed that has stripes, and the stripes are wonky on the camera. So, all right, Roman Kemp, says Jules.
Roman Kemp.
Is that the presenter? All right. No. What about the female? The female that's in the studio that keeps kicking out to all of these remote reporters. I've never seen her before. It's not Georgie Thompson. It's not Kate. It's not Kelly Cates. It's not the ones that that I know. It's definitely not Claire. I remember Claire from 25, 26 years ago. Claire Tomlinson.
Yes.
I remember Claire. Yeah. And back then it was Kelly Dalglish. Now it's Kelly Cates. Formerly Kelly Cates. Isn't she divorced from Cates now?
Could
So,
be. Don't know.
who does the darts, Baz?
Who does the darts? Emma Painton.
Is that who it is? Emma Payton then? Okay. I'll go look it up. Paul says he's got to go. Well done, Paul. Thank you.
God bless Paul. And all that. That I don't believe in. Yeah, it's Emma Payton. Yeah, I know who she is. Blonde.
Yeah. Well,
Talks
aren't
out
they
the
all
side of her
blonde?
mouth.
Aren't they
Talks
all
out the
blonde?
side of her mouth. Talks out the side of her mouth. She's got turkey teeth.
Turkey teeth. That's awful.
She's had them done, hasn't she? Sorry, that's she's done. She had a lot of work done.
Well, I don't. Yeah.
Emma Payton definitely does the darts. There's a few others that I started doing the darts though recently, but she's the main one.
Emma Saunders?
Unless she's been married. I don't know.
Emma Louise Payton.
There we go.
Yeah, that's who it is.
Yeah, there we are.
It's not Polly James. It's not Anna Woolhouse. It's not Laura Woods. Not Haley McQueen.
Laura Woods is
TalkSport,
isn't she?
Just so I'm completely honest with everybody, I typed in Google Sky Sports blonde female presenters. So just so I'm transparent with everyone, because no, I've never seen her before, and they have not put in the 10 minutes that I've been watching Sky Sports, they have not put on a ribbon that says who the person is that we're talking to.
Which is that well known, you see. Doesn't need one.
Well, all of you guys know who these people are. I unless I'm sitting over there, I don't know. So
love it.
Big Ben, they've got a shot of Big Ben, and Big Ben has 3 minutes left in the window. Is what it says.
Taking it too far now.
Jimmy Owens is watching on Sky Sports on Peacock. Ooh, maybe I should go over there. I'll go to Peacock real quick.
Kirsty Gallagher. Yeah, that's another one.
Yep. I remember Kirsty Gallagher. Yep. Claire Tomlinson was the first one. I can't remember her sidekick was Roger.
Oh, I don't know. This shows you how bad the end of the transfer window has been. There's just nothing to talk about, is there? When I knew was presented on Sky. I still think we're one player short. It would be nice to get one more in, but
I would love to get one more in, even if it was just a utility player. I agree.
Alone.
I feel we need just one more bit of business to make us feel better. Yeah, Rasmus Højlund joins Napoli on loan from Man United. Real Betis signed Anthony from Man United.
Yeah, we all know that. But we all said at the start of this window, we all said 4 to 5 players would be amazing, and we've got 6.
One loan.
5 permanents.
The again, the Voltemade one was a surprise to everyone.
Yeah.
Now, but does that mean now we've effectively signed Callum Wilson's replacement and the Rats replacement? Is that
100%.
It's still not used to hearing about the Mackems this much. It's been 8 years, Jimmy. It's been 8 years.
Let them have their moment in the sun until they screw themselves with PSR.
Well, for me, it's I was just saying, I met a Sunderland fan over the weekend, Bass. A young man named Zach came into our Premier League morning. He said he started watching the Premier League just before the 2014 World Cup.
Okay. You won't be seeing him much then.
Well, and he said he said he started following Sunderland because
Paulo Di Canio?
no, 2013. I'm trying to remember who it was. Oh, Josie Altidore.
Oh.
For those of you who don't remember, Josie Altidore was a U.S. men's national team regular striker. So the fact that an American went to Sunderland, he was just like, yeah, that I'll have that. Jamie Vardy just signed for
Someone
an
in Italy.
Italian team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here comes the last 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. And now the window is closed.
Good.
Ches says that Sky Sports reporting on the window is abysmal. They're saying that Visa is Isak's replacement, and once again only mentioned failed promises by NUFC. Northern Golfer gloves are off for the fans to shout for the terraces about the rat. Fans will be, yep, agreed. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, I've got to shoot. We'll see you at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, yes, Zach was an American. Yes, okay. Thanks everybody. Baz, you go and I'll sign off.
Cool. Laters, guys.
Later. So yes, Jimmy, Zach was an American, young American Sunderland fan. It was funny. He saw our promo for our local one, for our local Premier League morning on social media. I can't remember if it was Instagram or Reddit, but he knows full well where my allegiances were before he even walked in. So that's fun. Let's see. Leslie, yep, see you at 8. Leslie, yep, see you at 8. Willick did survive the cut. He is not gone, so he's still here. And then Baz had to leave, so it's time for dinner. Yes, we will all return again at 8 p.m. GMT or noon here on the west coast of the United States. So for all of you who have tuned in the last, I thought it was rare being Newcastle supporter. I go back a decade further than that, my friend. So, all right. Thanks, Jules. Thanks, Denny. Thanks, Ches. Thanks, Leslie. Thanks, Gary. Thank you, Liam and Baz, for dialing in. Thank you, Jimmy, for being in the comments. Again, we'll be back again at noon Pacific time. So if you're in the on the East Coast, 3 p.m. your time, Central time, 2 p.m. We'll see you all there. Yep. See you in an hour. Thanks, everybody.